Welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will talk about the linked list class in Java. So before going to the example of this linked list, we just need to know what is the actual linked list class do. So Java linked list class uses the doubly linked list to store the element. So when we just store a element in the linked list, so we just simply use the doubly linked list. It provides a linked list data structure. It inherits the abstract list class and implements the list and dequeue interfaces. Like we have the iteratable here, then collections, and here I just define a list and queue. Now abstract, sequential list, and then dequeue. Okay, and afterwards at the last I just define link list. So what does actually do here? So this link list extends from our abstract sequential list, and it will implements through dequeue and queue, and then it will go forward through extend and extends implements through list. Now we use extend keyword with our collections, and the collection is also extends from iteratables. Like iteratable extends from collections and collections extends from list and dequeue. Then when we go through the list to abstract sequential, so we just implement this, and when we go through the queue to dequeue, so we just use extends keyword, and then dequeue to linked list, so here we just used extends and implements. So now we just need to know some important points about Java linked list. Java linked list class can contain duplicate element. Java linked list class maintains the insertion order. Java linked list class is not synchronized. Remember that. It is the not synchronized class. In Java, linked list class manipulations is fast because no shifting needing to be occurred. Means you can not be shifting anything in Java linked list class. So it is fast. Java linked list class can be used as list, stack, or queue. I just told you that queue and dequeue. So you can use this class as a list, stack, or queue. So what is the hierarchy of linked list class? So you can see here this example. So Java linked list class extend abstract sequential list, this one. So it will extend this list, means linked list through extend, and it will extend abstract sequential list class and implement list and dequeue the interface. Means when we just use implement, so we just using the interface here, so it will dequeue through the interface. So what is the actual declaration of Java linked list class? So here I just use a simple code for Java linked list class. So this is linked list, and then I just use here E. So it will extend from abstract sequential list and list, and then sorry, it implements list E, and then here I just write DQ, which is E, and then serializable. Okay, so what we do here, we just take a public class which is linked list, extends from the abstract sequential list, and then we just implement this class through the list, and then DQ serializable. So after the serializable, I just use one another thing which is clonable. So what is clonable here? Clonable means when you just take some elements or some features from another class. So this is called clonable. Now we just go through the actual example of linked list. Here I just import a library which is java.util, and then we have the class name which is linked list. So I am actually writing an example here for book. So I just take an integer as an id, string, name. We have the string which is the name of author, and name, author, and publisher. Now we have, I just take integer, and the integer which is quantity, and it's quantity here. Then I just use public and linked list, and here we have the class name, and then integer which is id, and string, name, string, author, and string, publisher. Then integer which is quantity. So I just take a class name as a public which is linked list, and then I just pass an integer, string name, string author, string publisher, and string quantity. Now I'm just using this keyword and this id which is equal to id, this dot name which is equal to name, this dot author which is equal to author, and this dot publisher which is equal to publisher, and at the last this dot quantity which is equal to quantity. Okay, so the question here is why we use this keyword with this dot id, this dot name, this dot author, publisher, and quantity. So as you know that this keyword can be used to refer the current class instance variable. So it can also be used to invoke the current class method and the current class constructor too. And it will pass as an argument in the method call. So we just come to our example here, and I just create a class name which is, so here I just, sorry, here I just take a package here which is linked list 1. Okay, and where's my class which is linked list, and yes, this one. So I just add this class to my linked list 1. Okay, so here I just create one another class name which is linked list example. Okay, so now here what we gonna do, here I just create the main method public static void main string and arguments. Okay, now here I just create the list of the books. So list which is book, sorry, book, and then here I just write list which is equal to new and linked list. Okay, and this is also book here. So this is list. Okay, so it will not take this book value because here we just create a class name with the book. So we have the already the class name which is linked list. So I just call this class here and linked list. Okay, now here I just create the book. So linked list and L1 which is equal to new linked list, and then here I just define the number which is 200, and then the string which is book. So Java had first, and the author name, so I just simply write the author name which is Fayaz. I'm not the right author for this Java book. And then we have the publisher, so any publisher here ABC, I just write the publisher name, and then I just write the quantity which is 10. Okay, now I just copy this one and paste. So we have another linked list which is L2 and 201, and head first Java publisher which is Khan, and sorry, the author Khan, and publisher ABC, and the book quality is 20 here. Okay, and now we just go to the adding books to the list, means we just add books in the list. So here I just write list.add, and where here we have L1. So I just call object here, and then list dot add, and the arguments here means the parameters here which is L2. Okay, now we just traversing our list. So why we traverse our linked list? So traversing the list of a doubly linked list can be in either directions. In the fact, the directions of traversing can change many times. If desired traversal is often called iterations, but that choice of terminology is unfortunate, for iterations has well-defined semantic example in mathematics, which are not analog to traversal. So we just use this traversing for the directions. So here I just use for loop and for linked list, which is L and then list. Okay, and here I just write system dot out dot print line, and the print line here is L dot id, then the empty string, and here I just use the plus sign here for concatenation, and L dot name, and then I just write L dot author, and here I just write L dot publisher, and at the last L dot quantity. Okay, so now we just check the output for this code, and here proceed. So it will give us the error that our parameters are not generic. So for that I just simply mouse hover on this linked list and just import the linked list java dot linked list library. Click here and run. You can see here the output, which is 200 java head first, and then author name is Fayaz, publisher is ABC, and the book quality is 10. Then 20 java head first java Khan ABC, and the book quality is 20. So this is a simple example of the linked list in Java. Here we have some different method of the linked list. So I just use a class and then method. Okay, So now here we have, first of all, we have the Boolean list, and how to declare the Boolean list is linked list and then string list object, which is equal to new linked list and then string. Okay, so this is a simple method of the list object as an interface of the linked list string. So what are the Boolean add object item? So it will add the item at the end of the list, like here list and object dot add and end of the list, which is hello. Now it would add the string hello at the end of the linked list. Now we have void add method, which is for indexed and object items. So it will add an item at the given index of the list, like list and object dot add and then to and string, which is by. So this will add the string by at the third positions, means we have the two index here is third position as the index start with 0 because we have 0 index 2 and by. Our third method is void, sorry, our third method here is boolean add all, and this is collection C. So it will add the element of the specified collection C to the list. It throws null pointer exception if the specified collection is null. So like here I just use an example which is linked list and string, and then we have list object which is equal to new linked, sorry, new linked list and then string and closes string here. Like this is our means list object means, and here I just define array list and then string and array list here, which is equal to new array, sorry, it's array list and then string. Okay, now here I just write array dot, sorry, array list dot add, and we have the string here and then string number 2 and list object dot add all and array list. So this piece of code would add all the element of the array list into the linked list, mean this one. Okay, so these are the some methods of a linked list in Java. So we have the more methods like boolean add all, void add first, void add last, void clear, object clone, and boolean contains, and object get first, object get last, integer indexed of and integer last indexed of, object object poll first and object poll last, object remove as a indexed, means object remove as a integer index, and object remove as the object, and object remove first, object remove last, and object set and integer size. We have some different methods in linked list. So thanks for watching this lecture.